So I'm going to shoot the first set with the set trigger. I'm going to try and remember real hard to set it each time, and then we'll do a 5 set without the set trigger and see what kind of grouping we get. All right. Trigger set. Trigger set. Okay, that's the 5 rounds. Let's go see how we did. So except for the one flyer that was up at the top of the sheet, that was actually a pretty good group. That was all set trigger, so now we're going to go without the set trigger, and we'll see how I do. Now I'm going to do my best I can to work the trigger without using the set trigger. Just to do the best I can without it. All right, here we go. Last shot. Well, that actually felt pretty good. The trigger was actually pretty pleasant. It does I can see where a person can get used to not having that immediate let off from the set trigger. I think from what I can see through the scope, the group looks pretty good. So let's go take a look at it. Well, everybody, this kind of confirmed my suspicions here. So this is the group that I got with the set trigger. I had a flyer clear at the top. Let's not count that one. So, I mean, it's not a terrible group, but that is using the set trigger. I did the best I could to get those in the same place. Not a bad group. Now, here's the group. Here's what I shot without the set trigger. So that's pretty tight right there. One was off a little bit, but that's not very far. I'd have to say the set trigger is not quite as desirable as I thought it would be. It's definitely more enjoyable to shoot without it, I think. You do have a little bit of that regular trigger squeeze you're used to. Instead of just touching the trigger, you have to actually squeeze the trigger. And it you know, it's no surprises when it goes off. So I definitely am going to say I'm going to be using without the set trigger. Before we finish with the Wolf Polyformance, that's a pretty tight group. This is some good ammunition, and you know, it's pretty cheap too. So so far this is my favorite of the steel case. So there we go. To me, it's a bit of a surprise, but at the same time, I had my suspicions. That's why I wanted to test without the set trigger, and my suspicions are confirmed.